This is Marina with Marina's Moments. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new, I wanted to welcome on my channel, and if you're coming back as my usual viewer, I wanted to welcome you back as well. Well, today I wanted to do my month 10 and 11 review of my journey, and I've been on Mounjaro journey, which is the weight loss medication, and wanted to do review on my 10 and 11 month. So almost 1 year. Can you imagine? Time flew fast. So 10 and 11, month 10 and 11. When I did my last review, I said that I was on 10 milligram of Mounjaro, and even though doctor told me that it was time for me to go up to 12.5, I was waiting for the right moment because, like I said, I like to take it easy, and I like to make sure that when I do my medication that I'm at home and relax. And if you're gonna hear some snoring, it's my dog taking her nap. So I finally started, I want to say by the middle of month 10, I started taking Mounjaro at 12.5. And to my surprise, actually, because when I was going from 7.5 dose to a 10, I kind of had like this bad reaction where it was probably like too much of an appetite suppression, and I wasn't getting enough calories, and it didn't feel right. But when I started taking 12.5, I wanted to make sure before the injection that I would have a good meal with enough protein in it. So basically, kind of wanted to do it like prep, so they say don't just do, injection, at least for us who's been doing that for a while. So there is a prep meal, and then you have to wait at least like 30 minutes or something for the food to kind of, go through your system and then do your injection. At least that's how I'm doing to make sure that I'll have a good, reaction to my injection. So 12.5 was a great start, so no bad side effects. Of course, the usual, which is the little nausea, probably by for the first and second day. On the third day, it would go away completely. And what I did is for my 12.5, when I did on my first week, I switched. Usually I was doing my injection on Thursdays for, I want to say, for 10 months. But with the 12.5 dose of Mounjaro, I switched my injection days to Friday, just because I'm working, and especially I'm working right early in the morning. I wanted to make sure that if I have it, I'll have more of the weekend. Sometimes I do work on the weekend too, but I will have more weekend to deal with my especially nausea side effect. And again, it's just a slight nausea that it's going away with a couple of green olives that I've been saying throughout all my videos, and I'll show you which one I'm talking about. So I switched to Fridays for my injection days, and it's working out good. So, and I left it at that. So I'm still on 12.5, and because I'm still losing little by little, and when I say little by little, so my last update for the in the last video, I did say that I lost 60 pounds. For the month of 10 and 11, I am down 6 more pounds, so total loss of 66. So far, since the end of September 2022 until now, which is end of the August, that's when I'm doing this review. I've lost officially 66 pounds. So, and I wanted to say that I am so thankful again. When I started this journey, like I said, I really did not expect much. And I shouldn't say that, but basically, I knew that if I can lose like 25 pounds, I would be happy because, 25 pounds, that's a lot of weight off. But then I also said if I can lose 50 pounds in 1 year, because like that's my long-term goal, that would be just awesome. So basically at the end of month 10th, I can officially say that I'm minus 66 pounds. So I'm very pleased with that results. And to me, it wasn't like my journey for 10 months, it wasn't bad. I know this nausea and constipation that we get, a lot of us who's taking this medication, it's there, but it's still nothing compared to doing something very drastic and it's not happening, you know what I mean? Like it's not helping, like you're doing all this extra stuff. One thing I noticed though, and I'm not sure, I haven't had this with other dosage. I notice, you know how if you're watching other people taking and if you're watching like their side effects, I never experienced sulfur burps. It's those like rotten eggs burps that you get, and with none of the dosage that I was taking, I was experiencing, except when I started taking 12.5 of Mounjaro. And it wasn't on the first or second week. I think it was more like on the third week. And now I know it's probably has to do with what kind of food, not so much the injection or the medication itself. I think it's while you on this medication, what did you eat, So I think a lot of times when they say, well, you have the sulfur bursts, I think it has to do with medication and what you actually eat. So I actually experienced that, and that was awful. And thank God it was there for, I want to say like an evening, only like one evening, and I was just hoping by morning that it would go away. But then I read about it that if you do have this kind of situation, maybe you could take Tums or maybe you can take Mylanta. So there is a cure for that, but it's also what you eat. And I also noticed that with my 12.5, like some weird stuff, nothing bad, but it's like some, how we're talking about like side effects. Did we experience anything weird? So like I could be eating, for example, how there's like those breakfast sandwiches, like with some egg white and with some turkey sausage, like a really clean one, breakfast sandwich that you could buy anywhere, But when I would like start eating, I would do like a first bite, second bite, and by the third bite, it would just taste, oh my goodness, she's like so loud. And it would taste so yucky. Like I would actually taste like, I don't know if it was like a piece of cheese or it was piece of egg in it. Yeah, but it would taste like all of a sudden, like that sandwich, doesn't taste good to you anymore. Like all this time, like you were eating like a first bite, second bite, like you were eating it, but all of a sudden it just tastes weird. And I noticed it's just not with the sandwich. Like a lot of times you would be eating like your normal food that you would eat it. But by like maybe like a halfway through whatever your meal or whatever your piece that you are eating, all of a sudden you'll get that almost like, oh, it just tastes awful. And I'm not sure, again, what does it has to do. And it's not like I'm eating something that's not good for you, for example, like too much fat or like fried or any of that stuff. So like the usual good food that I would be eating all these months, all of a sudden, like sometimes it would just doesn't taste good to me anymore, So that's what I noticed with my 12.5. But so far, other than this kind of weird, situations that I had, 12.5, I noticed like it gives me enough. When I say enough, like, so I could be still eating. I don't like to when it's like giving me like too much appetite suppression where I just cannot eat anything and nothing would just sounds good, because to me that's the wrong way to go about it, because it's gonna catch up with you. First of all, you're gonna start losing muscle, and that's not good, because you don't want to lose muscle as well, because that's like muscle is your heart as well, like. So basically, and I notice whenever there would be like a weight loss stall, meaning like I would not notice like some, because there's weeks like it would just stay the same. I noticed that if I would concentrate more, or like start to concentrate more on protein intake, like for example, like there was, I want to say like maybe for the last month I just did not want to do any boiled eggs, where when I first started, boiled eggs was like the staple in my fridge. Like we would just boil them by 10 or 15, and I would always have some easy access to protein, and it would be a good for you protein, but it was like for the last month I would just not even want to think or do, not that I overate it, but it didn't sound good to me. But I noticed that whenever the weight would just come to a still, I would just start concentrating more on protein intake, and then I noticed how even though I'm doing more, meaning like intake of protein, I would see the change minus in my protein, in my weight. And a lot of times what I do, like especially in the morning when I do go for my, to work, and of course, like nothing sounds good to me like at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure, there's probably other people who love to have some good breakfast in the morning, not me. So what I would be doing, if I really want to make sure that I'm doing my protein intake, that like I see that my weight kind of stalled, meaning like stopped for some time, I would just do like the protein shakes. Like I really like this Fairlife, and I get this from Costco, and they sell them at Sam's Club as well. I'm sure they sell them everywhere else, but I like the chocolate taste to it. There's different flavors, but this tastes good to me, and it's good when it's from fridge. So what I would just do is just take it with me, and this is gonna be my breakfast until I'll eat like at lunchtime. So it has 30 grams of protein, and it only has 2 grams of sugar, which for me, that's good, like in the morning, and I like how this particular one, because there's this one, like a Premier Protein, it's just too chunky for me, but I think it's everybody's preference, but here there's like a 1 gram of sugar if you're really watching your sugar intake, and this one, so I'm not sure, I'm not the fan of this. It's called Strawberries and Cream. Didn't like it, even though I love anything with strawberries. It's just I didn't like it. I really wanted to try this for the longest, so I got this at Walmart. They sell them by 4s. I think you just have to go and find something that you particularly like and just stick to it. So as far as this brand, Premier Protein, I'm not fan of it. If there's nothing available, then I would probably take it. But my number one is this, and it's just light, and it doesn't have that aftertaste, and it doesn't have that chunk like taste in it. And I think when you on this kind of medication, you're sensitive to this kind of like a texture and a taste. So this is my favorite one, this particular. And I think I haven't been doing that just because when I grow up I would just drink it as as a coffee. You can do this, I saw, with some ice, and it would be like some kind of like a frappuccino drink for you. I didn't do that, but I'm sure it will taste good as well. So not fan of this too much, but that's my like a second choice. Definitely like this. And also, as far as the bars, this is my favorite one. This is from, I got this at the Sam's Club, and there's one at Costco, similar to this with the Costco brand, like a Kirkland brand. I really like that. So basically anything that has at least 10 grams of protein. So what I would do is I would just take this and I'll have it with some water or some coffee in the morning. And then I always will have this with me, Chobani Complete. It has 20 grams of protein, and it doesn't have any sugar, and it's lactose free, and it has fiber in it. And especially when you have constipation, this is a way to go. At least it works for me. And they have a different kind of flavor. This one is mixed berry vanilla, so it tastes really good. They have like different strawberries in there. So I got this particular one at Target, but I'm sure it's like they sell them everywhere. So this is the way to go. And that would be like, for example, like this would be my breakfast in the morning. And if I'm like working little bit past like 3 hours, I would just also take this in before I will actually eat my lunch. And this is the one that I was talking about, my green olives that I get at Trader Joe's. See, I love them. I just love them. And even when I take my lunch to work, I would always put at least 2 or 3 pieces of the olives in there, and it just tastes good to me. And especially on the days like, sometimes like some food did not sit well with you, and you it's not like you're ready to throw up, but it's just, it's not sitting well there as far as the nausea. And I would just take like 1 or 2 olives, and I would just chew it, and it has some pits in it, meaning the stones in it. I would just, spit it out, and it's all good after that. It works for me. So wanted to share my protein. And of course, like now that I started going back and watching again my protein intake, again we're boiling a lot of eggs, and I would just take for my lunch, I will show you in one of these videos, I would just take like a couple of hard-boiled eggs, and I would just do like some kind of vegetables. Lately, because tomatoes are in season right now, and last one I got like at Walmart, they're like were so this big, and I would just take like a half of it. I would do it in pieces with some little bit of a ranch on the side, and then I would just take it with me with few olives. That would be my lunch. So 2 eggs with some half a tomato, but tomato is kind of like a good size tomato, and with some olives. So, and that will last me until I'll get home, and then I'll do some, again, maybe some salmon. And I use a lot of air fryer, which is not through with oil, but with the hot air that you would cook your food with. So, and I would use like something in my air fryer once I'm back, and I would just do like some kind of apple, or if it's watermelon, So basically my kind of like on the go food in the morning, and then when I get home, I would make sure that I will get enough like fruits and vegetables, and then like protein intake as well, So I wanted to share this with you. Again, -66, and the clothing feels good on me. I'm enjoying, and definitely people start noticing, how when you start this journey, you almost like by like month 2 or 3, you're waiting for somebody to notice, but they're not saying anything, because like, how we lose like 10-15 pounds, and to us it's a lot, but to other people they may not notice it too. But definitely by 60/66 pounds, people just, I would already forget that I'm doing something, meaning like I'm on the weight loss journey, because it's something that I'm doing. And then people would just start noticing, they're like, oh, look at you, Marina, you looking good. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, like, oh yes, no, thank you. So it's almost like people do notice more, now, and they do recognize, and they're like, oh, that looks good, And of course, like when you trying to buy some clothes, you're already like shopping in some definitely different sizes, you know, like I said, used to be 3X, now it's XL, sometimes it's large, sometimes it's medium, you know, it just depends of the way the cut of the particular, you know, clothing is. So very excited that, and next month I'm gonna do my 1 year update, and I'll try to do some extra stuff, and I'll try to do some celebration as well. Definitely wanted to always like to end my updates for those people. Like I said, I was the most skeptical one. My sister kept on telling me for 2 years, you know, she was on different medication, Wegovy, and I would just deep inside, I knew that I need to do something about it, but I was scared. Like I didn't know how I'm gonna feel by taking it, how it's gonna make me feel. Will I be so sick that I'm not gonna be able to go to work? You know, like I didn't want any extra trouble in my life, you know. But then one day when I realized that it was time for me, there was no turning back. And of course, like when you see your weight is going down, and yes, in the beginning it will be faster, because in anything you do when you first start with the weight loss, you'll have that first month or first week or first 10 days or whatever, it's gonna be like, oh my god, I'm losing it, and then it's gonna stabilize, and then it's gonna be nothing, and then you're gonna lose again. And I think a lot of times when you get to the weight stall, which is like no changes, or sometimes even like you will gain a little bit, 1 or 2 pounds, you start being discouraged and you stop taking all this medication, and basically you just, you know, get discouraged to the point where you're just not doing anything about it. And that's the kind of like a point to just continue, maybe do change something in your, if it's diet, or maybe like do something different in exercise. But I just wanted to point out and be clear, because I have a situation with my hip dysplasia, I wasn't exercising crazy. I was doing like my normal routine, and I do have different work, like I have some side jobs that I'm doing right now. Besides I do loans, like home loans, that's my main job, but my side job right now, I do Russian interpreter, because I speak Russian. So I noticed that we do, like when you go interpret like to the hospital, you know how they have like a hallways and hallways to get to one place or the other one. So I do get my walk in, but it's not to the point where it's like so crazy. So basically what I wanted to say, even though I wasn't exercising crazy enough to make sure that I'm gonna lose weight, I was still able to lose 66 pounds. Can you imagine? So this is like a little bit of encouragement for the people who may not like exercise. I know it's good for you. I know even like when I'm sitting, like for example, like if I'm at work or if I'm doing my side job interpreting, if I've been sitting longer than usual, it's my body who's requesting for me like to move around more, if I'm gonna maybe like go to the store. Or a lot of times if I have breaks in between my appointments, I like to stop by at the store, for example TJ Maxx, and I would just do my walks there. So basically like try not to just sit, you know. So if you're able to do some kind of exercise, you know, you can just do that even while you're working. So at least that's how it's been working out for me. I'm sure if I would be working out, maybe I would be maybe it would be more pounds minus, but this is my kind of pace, like, you know, this is how my life is, and it's basically I'm still losing, it's still ongoing, and I like how I get enough exercise by walking, either between my jobs or while on the job. It depends if I'm doing that particular like hospital or like clinics, you know, lots of walking. So basically I want to say you do want to get, if it's possible for you, some kind of exercise, you know. That would be beneficial. But if you have a situation where you're thinking about it, whether it's Wegovy, Ozempic, or if it's Mounjaro, the one that I'm taking, definitely give it a try, but do it with the doctor, under doctor's supervision. If anything, you can always call in and just say, doctor, what about this, what about this, because I heard that there's some people who are very sensitive to this medication, and some of them even had to go on anti-nausea medication. So basically, if you have it with the doctor, then it's easy. You can just call in and doctor will send you whatever the medication you need to kind of like make your life enjoyable, you know, still losing weight and less side effects. So this is my month 10 and 11 update for you guys. If you haven't signed up yet, please do so. If you have some comments, please share them with us. If you're on a weight loss journey, let us know what's your weight loss at this point, what you're doing, which medication, or maybe if you're doing this naturally and it's working out for you. I'm so happy for you, happy that you stopped by my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.